Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, this video is just going to be audio only. I mean, I'm going to show you some pictures, but you won't be able to see me because, as I'm sure you guys know, I've been working like a mad dog this weekend trying to get some good Halloween content up because obviously it was a very exciting weekend for us Halloween fans. So, yeah, now I do have another video coming shortly after this one. They'll probably be uploaded pretty simultaneously with each other, where I sort of give my general thoughts and feelings of the Halloween trailer now that I've let it sit for a little bit. So anyways, on with the images in this video. The first few images I want to show you have been up online for about 24 to 36 hours now, I think, anyway. And I think the source is Entertainment Tonight. There's some behind the scenes photos, but it looks like they were taken off of a television or a computer screen. And if they weren't, then clearly this is a cell phone from 2002. But anyway, now if the source is not Entertainment Tonight, please somebody below comment and let me know. But that's the general sort of consensus that I'm seeing, so we'll say that for now. Anyway, here we go. Here's the first image up there. We have James Jude Courtney dressed as Michael Myers. And of course, we have the slate board off to the right with Uncle Orange. Yes, that obviously is the working title for the new movie. But pay close attention to the mask. Now, again, these are not professional photos, and they are also taken off of a television screen. And it looks like somebody was sort of, you know, because the framing is all back to front, it looks like... yeah, it looks like somebody was trying to sneak these images, to be honest with you. But anyway, so we have James Jude Courtney dressed as Michael Myers, but look at the mask. Now, again, these are not professional photos, and this is, you know, the images have not been professionally treated, but the mask looks like the mask from 1978. It looks like the mask from 1981. At least I'm getting that vibe. I totally see a Halloween 2 vibe here, and even a Halloween 1 vibe here. Now, that could be also largely because the images are of such poor quality, we're actually not seeing all the cracks and crevices that, you know, Christopher Nelson did so much hard work on creating an older version of the Shatner mask, right? This looks very clean and sort of pristine, right? So we're not actually seeing a lot of the cracks and crevices. So this kind of shows you without those cracks and crevices, this really does look like the mask from 1978. At least that's what I'm getting. Now, if this was a professional photograph where we were actually standing beside him, we'd be able to see all those lines and creases and cracks, which sort of help to distort the authenticity of the look. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. It looks really awesome. Okay, let's go to the next image here. Right, here we go. Here is an image. Now, this obviously is in the house. That looks like the same room. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's the same. Well, okay, that might not be the, actually, I was going to say it's the same room that the girl opens the closet, but now I sort of see the fish tank between James Jude Courtney's legs there, between Michael Myers' legs. And I believe there was a fish tank in the room in that one image with the person who had the sheet over their face. So clearly we are looking at probably the same bedroom, okay? And I really like the shot because we have the cameraman off to the left. We have the DP off to the left, or at least the camera operator. He might not be the DP, but the camera operator off to the left, bottom left here. This is a great shot. Okay, and I can absolutely imagine what this is going to look like. We are, you know, at a very low angle. It's a power shot looking up to present Michael Myers with authority and presence. And certainly, now the DP, I would imagine, is probably also, these are probably also the legs of the camera operator. But the camera operator may be wearing the same shoes or the same pants, the same color of pants as the actor or actress in question that this is supposed to be, that Michael Myers is grabbing onto. So we see the shoes and the pants sort of in the foreground to create the impression that this actor or actress is being pulled or grabbed by Michael. Just the way this looks. Now, it's entirely possible that if I was actually in the space, I could see that, no, it is actually the actor that is on the ground and the camera operator is sort of hovering over their face. That's entirely possible too, but it's not out of the, you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that that could be the case here. Or it's also entirely possible that those pants and shoes are not in the shot at all. And this is just simply framed as such that we're just getting Michael's, you know, from say his chest up. If it were me, though, I think you're at such an opportunity to sort of see like the feet kind of come into the foreground, right? As you see Michael's face, in the background, so it looks like there's this big, massive commotion. That's probably how I would approach the scene, which is why I instinctually first went to the feet and the shoes and all that kind of stuff. But it's entirely possible they're not in the shot at all. This is a great shot, and look at the mask again. This is a great looking Myers. I'm telling you right now, it all comes down to the mask. And of course, the physicality and presence of the character, which we know that James Jude Courtney is knocking it out of the park on. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that mask. If you don't nail that mask, if you don't get that mask right, if it doesn't look right, if it's not, presented properly in the shadows and in the space and in the lighting, fuck, you can forget about anything else because he's so identified with that look from 1978. Great shot. Love this. Okay, this is just on to the next image. More of the same here. Now, what I'm looking at here, actually, now that I look at it, this looks like a monitor. This actually looks like an image. Yeah, this looks like I'm looking at a monitor here. I don't mean a computer monitor. I mean an actual monitor used on set. This actually could have been a photograph that was taken, not taken actually of the scene taking place, but taken at the monitor of the scene taking place either on the other side of the monitor or behind the monitor. Because obviously when you're shooting a major motion picture, there's always monitors on set that the director and the DP, certainly the director and the producer, will often look at while they're watching the scene take place because they get that sort of screen perspective. So they can watch the actual scene take place on the other side, but they want to see what it's going to look like, that kind of flavor, that kind of vibe of what it looks like on screen, right? And that's what it looks like. It looks like somebody snapped a shot here. I didn't pay close attention to the first time I saw these. That's what it looks like to me. So that could very well be a possibility as well. Great shot though. More of the same. Love the mask. I love how the collar is up. The collar is up. Love that shit. I'm telling you, Ryan Turek, Christopher Nelson, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, you've done your due diligence to pay close attention to, how that looks. I will say this though. I think the knife should be bigger. I don't mean like Rob Zombie Halloween 2 big, but just, 3 or 4 inches longer, like sort of what it was in the original Halloween. Just looks a little too small for me in his hand, but we'll see how it plays out on screen. All right, and on to the next image, which is basically more of the same of the first image that I showed you. This mask looks great. And again, without those lines, without those cracks and crevices, you can actually see, they're there, don't get me wrong, but because it's a poor quality image, we're actually seeing we're getting that illusion that this is sort of a clean mask, like something that may have been worn in Halloween 1 or 2. And we can certainly see that, yes, the actual character, the actual shape is there. No pun intended for shape. Yeah, I like it. Okay, the last thing I want to draw your attention to, I've been getting a lot of messages for this, and I'm sorry I didn't get to this earlier. It's just there's so much to talk about, of course. Yes, now it has been sort of out there now that according to James Jude Courtney, I did upload a video about this. It was my last one that I uploaded. James Jude Courtney did say that Nick Castle is only in one scene and he never walks in the movie, which is stunning to me because there was so many Nick Castle-esque type of movements and walking in that trailer that I am just stunned. But I want to tip my hat to James Jude Courtney again and say, dude, you knocked it out of the fucking park. If what he's saying is true, folks, he's got that physicality down, and I have no doubt that he's going to bring his own essence to the character as well, which I'm really excited about. I don't think JJC, James Jude Courtney, gets enough credit here. And I just want to say, James, you're knocking it out of the fucking park. Okay, let's look at that image that everybody's talking about, of course, which is this image right here of Michael Myers through the window. And everybody seems to think that this is Nick Castle, and I am going to agree with you. I think this is more than likely likely Nick Castle. And the very first time I watched the trailer, I too noticed the head turn. I did. I didn't react to it, but I did notice it. It was one of the things I noticed. And now, of course, at the time that I watched it, I wasn't sure that it was Nick Castle. I mean, there are a lot of people that if given the proper direction, could certainly pull it off. I mean, I've been able to pull it off in a lot of the things that I've done. So it's certainly, there's nothing proprietary about it. You just got to learn how to do it and do it properly. But that being said, I do believe that this is Nick Castle now. If what James Jude Courtney says is true, you have to hearken back to the original tweet that Nick Castle gave, which was an image right here. This was the original tweet. This was back in end of January, beginning of February or so. And well, here we have the date right there, of course. We have February 9th, 2018, his shadow. So there we have this image of Nick Castle tweeted this, showing his shadow against the wall, and you have the mirror here. There's a mirror, right? Okay, great. Now, of course, that mirror didn't mean too much to us when we saw this image back in February, but nonetheless, okay, interesting. But look at the side of the mirror. Look at how the mirror itself is attached to sort of, there's a piece that comes out, right? There's a piece that comes out. Pay close attention to that. Don't worry about the beads that are hanging on it, but pay close attention to that piece that comes out and look at, the design of the mirror, the color of the mirror. Okay, great. And of course, there's a window there as well, right? There's a window right in the mirror. And the position in which he's standing in, of course, if you were outside on the front lawn, you would be able to see, because of the angle that Nick is standing at, you probably would be able to see him in the mirror. But anyway, let's move on to the actual image from the trailer. Ah, there we are. There is the mirror, and look to the bottom left over there. There's that piece that sticks out. Now, obviously, they have removed the beads, or the beads are just not in frame. But so I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's not a very thin limb. It certainly is a very large log to say that this is more than likely Nick Castle's moment in the Halloween 2018 film. Now, we don't know if it's just that moment. There could be a little bit before, there could be a little bit after. I'm not merely suggesting that this is his only moment. It's 2.8 seconds long and it's his, reflection being shot, because we don't know that. We don't know what comes before it. We don't know what comes after it. Certainly, we also know, because there was another image that Nick Castle tweeted out, which was this image right here. And we see that Nick Castle was obviously in makeup and he had his hands dirtied up and bloodied. Well, if the only image we're going to get of Nick Castle is through, the window, and we're not going to see his hands at all, it would be unnecessary to go through that process. Now, they may have gone through that process because they may have had other ideas. It's better, it's better to be prepared than to have to, waste time, go back into makeup, and waste everybody's time for half an hour. So they might have just did the full getup just in case they wanted to do something else. That's entirely possible as well. And that's sort of how it works and how it happens. But anyway, guys, so comment below and let me know your thoughts on these images. Woo! Woo! And I don't drink coffee. All right, folks, my name's Dave McRae. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. The link is in the description. As well, if you want to help support the channel each and every month, the Patreon link is in the description as well. In the meantime and in between time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, look out for that video coming up next, or it's probably already uploaded, where I give sort of my retrospective on having the trailer sit with me for over 24 hours now. Almost, we're past. I think we're at 37 hours now. Talk to you guys soon. Cheers.